Dana, he's always been gracious. He's always like, man, you might have the worst luck I've ever seen in my life. But it's just like, all you could do is say, man, you might be right, but I'm not done.
The new and first ever UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Dominick Cruz.
History in the making here in Glendale, Arizona.
The story of Dominick Cruz is one of the more unfortunate stories in recent MMA history. Dominick Cruz was a guy who becomes this wizard on his feet, quick as a bee, great in all facets of the sport, and just knocking off every contender along the way.
Dominick Cruz was at his apex, you know. He was dominating fights, and it was fun to watch.
I mean, it was pretty obvious that he had a great chance of being champion just because there's nobody like Dominick Cruz. He doesn't move like anybody else. He throws punches and kicks from weird angles.
Dominick Cruz's style, I mean, it was really like no one else in the game. I think he was the first guy to really realize that MMA striking isn't just boxing, and MMA striking isn't just kickboxing. MMA striking is a whole style on its own.
You look at how he moves, he's just so unorthodox.
The first word that comes to mind is busy. You don't really know where he is.
When I didn't hit him with big shots early, I started getting frustrated because he was in, out, in. I'd throw a big shot and he was already moving out.
Dominick Cruz, ladies and gentlemen.
I felt like nobody was going to beat me. I was champion of the division. I felt like I was going to stay there.
And it's bad news in our UFC. Bantamweight champ Dominick Cruz tore his ACL in training, knocking him out of his UFC 148 title fight with Uriah Faber.
We were sparring, and a guy got behind me and went for a weird takedown and busted my knee.
This guy was not just a fighter in the UFC, he was a champion. I mean, he was making title defenses, everything that comes along with title defenses, leading pay-per-views.
Everything was really turning out great for Uriah Faber and Dominick Cruz heading into UFC 148.
As everybody knows, Dominick blew out his ACL and cannot compete at UFC 148. So we are creating an interim bantamweight title.
So he has the surgery, he has to sit on the sidelines, he has to watch Renan Barão become interim champion, and he's making a comeback. Slowly but surely, there are rumblings of Dominick Cruz coming back.
I was training shadow boxing and moving and stuff, and my foot stuck to the ground when I went to throw, and it popped, you know? What else can you say?
And he has to go under the knife again. And I remember that was one of the sadder moments covering this sport because you knew how much he had been through up until that point. Dominick Cruz was going to finally be able to cash in after all these years. That was his lottery ticket, that big trilogy fight. After a whole season of The Ultimate Fighter, he was just weeks away from fighting Uriah Faber in the co-main event of the biggest fight of the year, one of the biggest fights of all time.
When he had already built his body back up as an athlete to be where it needed to be, and then to have that ACL pop out, it really put him back quite a ways.
Renan Barão.
For a long time with Renan Barão, you know, racking up these wins, we were wondering, I mean, how long are they gonna wait? You know, it's gonna be 2.5 years since he fought. You know, how much time are they gonna give Dominick Cruz to come back? But credit to the UFC that they stood by their champion, and you know, it paid off.
So finally it's announced he's coming back. He's gonna face interim champion Renan Barão, who was on a tear at that point. We're gonna see him in an undisputed title unification bout.
I felt great. I felt like I was going back in there to fight. I did feel nervous. I was just like, man, here I go. Like, ooh, right back into the fire.
Dana, I understand there will be big changes regarding UFC 169.
Longtime bantamweight champion Dominick Cruz. He got a grade 2 or 3 groin tear, getting ready for the big fight against interim champion Renan Barão. So he's out of the fight again.
I think my reaction was probably what everybody's reaction was. Like, what?
Whether or not you liked Dominick Cruz, it didn't matter. Your heart went out to the guy.
The will and inner strength it took for me to get through this, I can't really put into words because it's been so many ups and downs. I could have just not fought again, and then it wouldn't have been so hard. My knee would have healed, and I would have been fine. But I chose to make it hard on myself by actually coming back.
he's like the starting quarterback that lost his job to injury. You know, nobody beat him out. So you have to say, well, if you're going to put Dominick in a fight, there has to be a major payoff for either guy to win. So Mizugaki is on an incredible roll. Mizugaki becoming available, it was the perfect time.
As the fight's gotten closer, this experience has seemed surreal. I wake up, I know I'm fighting Mizugaki, I know he's ready to take my head off. That never really leaves your head, but the preparation stuff of media, I've said it on some interviews that it's like losing your job and then wishing you could have done anything to fix it, and then you get that second chance. Showing up here in Vegas, it had a different feel. When I got into the car, it's totally different because I'm not here to corner anybody else. I'm not here to just cover a live event on Fox Sports 1. I'm here to fight, and it's something that I haven't gotten to just accept and say to myself for a long time, and now I get to say, you get to go do what you love to do, and I really find that I get to have more fun with it. This would have been nice if I was doing Fox analyst work, but this is gonna be nice for sleeping while I'm cutting weight. It's funny because every time I come to Vegas, something is on my mind. I'm either thinking back about, you know, past fights. Man, I remember I fought there at the Hard Rock. Man, I remember I fought at the MGM and defended my title there. Just so many memories out here in Vegas because a lot of my career's been here. I think I've fought here 4+ times. And when I got here, I wanted to walk into the arena. I wanted to be there. I wanted to kind of just be there when it was completely empty. Nothing was there.
Time to go to work, Mr. Cruz. You know what that means, baby? We rollin'! Yeah!
Visualization is a big thing for me, and I think it is for a lot of professional athletes in general, that you have to visualize so that when you're there, it doesn't seem so new. You're waiting for your music to start, and then you hear boom, you hear the bass, because you know that they're about to walk you out. And then that's when you gotta get with it at that point. It's like, all right, here it comes. Everything's there. The only thing you gotta deal with now is the show, the fans, the unexpected. And then I hear my song, and then I walk. And that's what's crazy. And then everybody's here. The lights are going. It's just weird. It's a weird experience to walk out to a fight that's organized. It's not a normal thing. So I wanted to visualize it again, and I wanted to walk out, and I saw the cage. I've done it fight after fight after fight. Why would I change it now? And Herb Dean's gonna check me, checks my ears. Boom, I got a cup on, Herb, don't worry. Yeah, here's my mouthpiece. Get up, walk, turn around. I'm here, and I'm in the cage. About time.